Here.
Councilman Jack Russo.
Here.
Councilman Gray.
Here.
Councilwoman Mora. Here. Supervisor Esposito.
Present. Also present is our town attorney, Gerard Parisi, who just came back from a long trip. How many countries?
3, I guess, 3 or 4.
Okay. I'd like to stand for the invocation. Nancy? Be honest.
Father God, we come before you tonight asking for your wisdom, knowledge, and discernment for those representing us to know your will for Princetown. We ask your peace and unity that only you can give. Thank you for working your will in our town. Bless those who represent us and their families. We pray as your word says, blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. We declare this for our town. In Jesus' name, amen.
Please remain standing for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, privilege to the floor. At every scheduled town board meeting, the public shall have the right to address the town board during the course of the meeting, referred to as privilege to the floor. Members of the public shall restrict their comments to items of town business. Although there is no official time constraint, speakers should be considerate of others so that all interested members of the public have an opportunity to be heard. There shall be one portion of the meeting dedicated to privilege of the floor. Near the beginning of each meeting, all remarks, questions shall be addressed to the board. No person shall enter into discussion with the person having the floor. Council members may address any comments during the portion of the meeting referred to as council member comments. Privilege of the floor is opened up at 7:02.
Should I stand?
Please state your name.
Sure, Kathy Nelson. I'm gonna just kind of give you an update what PAC's been up to. Usually Greer comes, but she can't tonight, so the first thing I was gonna talk about was the planning board chair, Carol McLean, had reviewed the NRI, which is the National Resource Inventory Report, and she made some comments on it, and so the board did agree to and approved with those items that are going to be removed at our meeting this past Monday, the 1st. And, you know, the PAC was committed to writing the research and produce the NRI, and so that's all been done, but now we'd really like to, you know, move forward it, because part of it was to get this published on the Princetown website. So we're hopeful that the board will be able to review it in a timely manner and approve it, so that would be great. And then I wanted to review the recycling environmental event on last Saturday. I want to thank Jim and Doug and Crystal for the help and showing up and support. And even though the weather was cool and rainy, town residents did participate. It was a positive event. It was great to see new and returning residents. We had 300 seedlings that we handed out. The hydrangeas had been the most popular. Schenectady County Master Gardeners and the composter and recycling specialists were also available. Scrap and electronics recycling had been a little bit lighter this year, however, it was still encouraging. People still did participate. And the GE recyclers who did the electronics said they would come back next year. Money totals for the scrap and tires will follow once they are finalized. And then we're looking at maybe some other programs this fall. With the board's approval, we're looking at maybe hosting a Red Cross blood drive and also county to come back and do a recycling compost educational session. That's it.
Why is the Red Cross, blood drive?
We were just discussing it to see if maybe that was a possibility, but we would bring it up and, you know, in front of the board to see if it was something that would.
And you want to use the town hall, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have any objection to that? No? I guess it's all set then.
Oh, okay. All right, excellent, thank you.
Just touch base with me on the schedule.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, does everybody have a copy of what she's been talking about, the natural resources was? What they,
We got one a while ago.
Yeah.
did Do you have the updated version of it, or was there any changes?
Yeah, we're gonna remove a few items from it. And I think there was one website that we had to update their website address
Did
on.
you get a copy to Crystal so she can give it to the rest of the board,
Sure.
so they can review it? Any others? Okay, we'll close up privilege of the floor at 7:07. Okay. My glasses on here. I will have anything for,
No, he said don't go on. He's got gold or anything.
we're gonna have to get hold of Nick, and we're gonna have to look at the roads to see what's gotta be done.
Okay.
Because there's gonna be, there's some roads that have to be, may need repaving this year. When I got a call from Empire Paving, they would like, if we're gonna need any paving done, they wanna put it on the schedule for this year, because they're booking up right now, so I'll have to get a hold of them, and I'll have to go out and look at them. Code enforcement. Building inspector's report here. Total permits 9, permits issued 9, permit fees collected $7,944, building inspectors 5, building inspections 5, zoning reviews 0, fire inspections 0, final building inspections 1, certificate of occupancy compliance 0, bank deposit $7,944, check to supervisor 00, checkbook balance as of May 9, 2023, $8,997.24. Activities in zoning 1, working on planning and zoning as needed, working on permit final inspection as needed, reviewing plans as needed, Thomas Marini, building inspector. Any questions for the building inspector, Doug? Nicole?
No,
Ben? Jim?
No.
I'm assuming that, that money that was from the solar, they had to renew their permit, I'm assuming that's why.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it- Okay. You're up, Ben.
Yeah, I just had a call today from somebody concerned about a couple of dogs on Rhinex Corners Road. Huskies. The owners work during the day, so they keep them on a tie-out chain. She claimed that there were a couple feet is all the room they had, and they didn't have any water. I went over and spoke to the owner, and they have about 6 foot for each dog, and they're in the shade, and they have water bowls that they shouldn't tip over unless they're knock it, but it may have been knocked over, but he's providing water and good shelter for them, so they seem okay. So I let the other person know that all was all right there. So that's all she was concerned about, that they're, that the dogs are okay. And it was it.
Okay. Thank you, Ben. Any questions for Ben? Doug? Nicole?
No.
Ben? Jim? No. Okay, thank you.
All right.
Now, let's see. We don't have anything from the court, right?
We do not, or the assessor.
We don't have anything from the assessor.
We missed water, though.
Pardon?
The water.
Oh, I missed, oh, yes. I don't know where Wes went, but he's here. Where is, oh, there it is. Sorry. Let's see, April, this is from Wes Blessing, our water commissioner, gallons pumped 1,570,700, maximum daily usage 68,200, minimum daily usage 30,400, daily average 52,400. We had the following water main breaks, leaks, none. Thank you. Issues work done, generator at the well house had an issue with the wiring harness, all the low voltage wiring that operates the motor for the generator burned and the insurance company has been notified. A backup generator has been installed until repairs can be made. That was quite costly for the water department too. So, an issue has been discovered with the construction of the LS Power Facility on Settles Hill Road. The water department has notified both Doug Cole and the engineering company. The issue should be resolved shortly. Meter readings will start May 15th. For the June billing, the gate valve for the Rooter Drive PRV pit has been repaired. Repair of the hydrant across from 1434 Gifford Church Road still on hold, awaiting parts. Pressure reducing valve at Gifford Church Road booster pump station still waiting on parts. General maintenance performed. Respectfully submitted, West Blessing. Sorry, isn't it? Got anything? Ben?
Did we, you had mentioned in an email that we might have to replace that generator? Is that gonna be
I think you can get
repairable?
the parts now.
So we should be able to repair it.
Yes, yes.
The
we're waiting
replacement
on-
was 30,000, right?
Yeah, up to that
Yeah,
point.
so repair should be a lot less than that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I don't know where he is right now.
That's all right,
You can explain.
the last
The
thing
wiring
on.
harness burned out. I think they're waiting for Caterpillar. That's a cat
Okay.
generator.
All right,
So they're waiting on the parts for that.
yeah, it'd be good if we don't have to replace it.
The only thing is, I forgot how much the cost to rent that generator is, like over 2,000 a month, am I correct?
That I don't know.
If he comes back in, we can ask him. I think he said it's
He
only
won't, he has
2,000
another
a month.
meeting he had to go to.
And we don't have any insurance against any of
Well, we
these.
turned it into the insurance.
Okay, so we
carrier.
did, okay, good.
We don't know if they're gonna pay. Turned
Okay,
in ours
good, good.
last week. So, hopefully.
So it may not be as bad as we originally thought.
Yes, yes, if that would have to replace the generator.
Yeah, that would have
that's-
been a big deal.
You're talking a lot of money there.
Okay.
Anything, Doug? Nicole? Buildings and grounds, there's really nothing going on. Well, there is, we're waiting on the air conditioning units to be finished their installation process. I've gotta get a hold of them this week because we're getting close to June. The new compressors are in, the 3 are in, so, other than that, we do have one other thing that I'd like to mention to the town board. The Crown Communication has been in touch with me. They're interested in purchasing the land that the cell tower is on, or a long-term lease. I don't think that the police department, the state police is using that anymore, so they're interested in wanted to know if we could subdivide the land. They wanted to set up a meeting to discuss it along with the state police, since they were the original owners of the cell tower. I sent them an email back. I told them I was not available last week, and they haven't been in contact with me yet this week. But they want to meet and discuss the possibility of either purchasing it, or the land that it's on, or leasing it with a long-term lease. If they want to purchase it, that means we would have to subdivide it, and we'd have to grant them an easement back here to get to it. But that'll be up to the town board's decision if we want to do that or not. I'm not opposed to renting or selling it or renting.
Would they be willing to lease from us, or would they want to subdivide and own it?
They, either or, whatever we come up with, we'd have to discuss it to see what's the best alternative for the town. You know, so, I don't know, maybe a long-term lease on it would be
That's what I'm
advantageous to
wondering,
the
I'm
town.
wondering if that might.
Or buy it outright, the land that it's on. They can't do anything with it. We have no lease agreement with them. We have no lease agreement with the state police. We're month to month now, for obvious reasons. We don't know what we're gonna do with that building, so they're getting nervous. I think they wanna put some more satellites on it for whatever reason, I don't know. But I know that the state police doesn't care one way or another, since they're not using it, I don't think. That was put in for their dispatch system at one time when they rented the thing. I don't know why we don't have a lease with them on that tower. I don't understand that at all, but. So if they're interested in, if I meet with them, we'll bring it to the town board and see what see what we wanna do with it. If we're interested in a lease or selling it outright with an easement. If our attorney thinks that might be the way to
The
go.
only concern I have about that is, we have some people interested in property that we own. And my understanding is that part of their interest was that tower, is that
Yes,
correct?
yes.
So we gotta be careful, that we don't complicate that deal.
I know, that's why I said, well,
So I'm wondering if a lease would be better than, because once it's gone, once we transfer ownership, then when we start working on sale of other property that we want to sell, it may be an issue.
yes. I agree. Well, we'll meet with them and we'll see what,
Yeah.
they have to say.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely. Yeah, we discussed it before. Other than that, I guess, our buildings and grounds, foreman, which is only one, wants to, do some mulching around the building and get the, put some, do some work outside, so I've got no objection to it. The town, the board doesn't. That's Bob Burgess. He said he'd come in and he wants to do that. So I've got no objection to it. Other than that, I don't have anything else. Unless somebody's got something that somebody mentioned to him or anything? No? Okay. Crystal, you're up.
Okay, so we are now finished collecting taxes at the town. I'm going to reconcile the accounts this month, and then any unpaid tax bills at this point are now being turned over to the county for further collection. I did receive notice from the county this week that there were some delinquent letters regarding star exemptions that were sent out by New York State erroneously or by mistake. So if you get a delinquent letter and you are paid and up to date, the county said to call county finance. I can write down their number for you, or it's 518-388-4262. They can just confirm for you that your taxes are up to date and that the issue has been corrected. But there was a number of residents who already called this week.
nephew got one of those.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
I don't know how, it was at the state level, it wasn't the county, but the county wants you to call them and they can reassure you that everything is fine. So, that's all I have.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Any questions for Crystal? Jim? We were talking about one time at having the microphone hooked up.
Right.
Can we look into that again?
Yeah, I talked to my brother-in-law about it, and there's a couple ways we can do it.
I think it would be, because for us that are hard of hearing and stuff to.
Primarily what you're concerned about is there.
Yes.
For privilege. That'd be easy. What would be more difficult is if you want to microphone everybody on the board, that would be a lot more expensive.
I don't know, can everybody hear us back there?
But just to do that would be very reasonable. I'll talk to him.
Most town boards have
Yeah.
microphones in the front.
Normally, people
What,
can,
we get a
you
price
can-
on
everybody can
both?
hear us, right? Pretty
Yes.
good.
Can we get a price on both?
Yeah, yeah.
Can't they do wireless? About wireless?
Yeah, right. Wireless is the simplest way to go. And it's not terribly expensive.
Okay. I guess that's it, so we'll move on.
Yeah, right.
Public hearings, we have none. Resolution, meeting minutes. It is hereby resolved that the meeting minutes of April 11th, 2023, regular town board meeting are approved or as amended. Discussion,
I'll make a motion.
is there a second?
I'll second.
Councilmember
Crystal?
Goldie,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mora,
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito,
Yes.
Councilman Jack Russo,
Yes.
Councilman Gray.
Yes.
All right, I still have that out of order.
It's all right. Resolution passed.
Keep making sure you're paying attention, I guess.
Planning board chair appointment. Before I read this over here, Carol McLean resigned as the planning board chair. I asked Anthony Torrey, who's been on the planning board for 40 years, I think.
He was on when I was on years ago. So.
Yes, and he was the chairman at one time, and he's agreed to step in for a few months, and he may stay on longer, but he said that right now he's looking at 2 months until we find someone else to become the chair. I think that he's a good fit for it since he's been here so long. I don't know if anybody has any comment on it, discussion, before we read the resolution? Ben? Jim?
No, if he'll do it, I'm thrilled, and he'll do it, because, you know, there's not gonna be, that'll be seamless. He knows what's going on.
Well, if you look over here, we have a town planner. Now, we have one that's gonna be certified, which is required by state law, which we haven't had in a good number of years. I think it's been about 8 or 10 years since we had a certified planner, and we're supposed to have that. And Doug Cole is our town engineer, and apparently he is certified. If he's not, he has someone in his office that is certified, went to college for it, so, and Doug Cole attends all of the planning board meetings.
Oh, yeah.
He understands our town laws and ordinances. He's certainly probably the best fit that we can have. I asked him about it, and he agreed, and he sent his proposal to what he'd like. I don't know if everybody has a copy of it, I sent it out to
Yeah.
everybody. So, but
Do
I
we
think
need, do we
that's
need a motion for the one before that, though, for Anthony?
yes, we're gonna
Oh,
do
okay.
that. I just wanted to tie the two together
All right.
over here. So, planning board chair appointment. It is hereby resolved that Anthony Torrey be appointed planning chair with a term to expire 12/31/23. Like I said, I did ask him today, he said he may stay on if the work is, just being the planning board chair. Actually, everybody is supposed to go to the planner first and take care of whatever they have to come to the planning board. So the planning board chair should be a lot easier job than what has been in the past.
Does he know that? we're
Yes,
doing it? Okay.
yes, I talked to him today, and he said he's gonna try for 2 months and see if, he is retired and, didn't know if he wanted to do it for the whole year, but he said he would definitely do it for 2 months and let me know after the 2 months if he, would like to stay on. He is probably the best right now that we can get, I think. I don't know, Dan, you got anything you'd like to add to it?
He's got the most experience, that's for sure.
Yeah, you were on the planning board with him.
Years ago, 20 years ago.
Doug, Nicole, okay. It is hereby resolved that Anthony Torrey be appointed planning board chair with a term to expire 12/31/23. We already had our discussion, is there a motion? Is there a second?
I'll second.
Crystal?
Councilman Pavoldi?
Yes.
Councilwoman Moore?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes.
Councilman Jack Russo?
Yes.
Councilman Gray?
Yes. Town planner, be it resolved that Doug Cole, P.E., a prime AE, be appointed to provide town planning services to the town of Princetown at a base rate of $85 per hour, billed monthly for a fee not to exceed $15,000 in a calendar year without prior approval, with a term to expire 12/31/23. Discussion? Is there a motion?
Now, before we vote on it, I do have some discussion. I'm thrilled that you were able to pull that off, because this is really what we need. Because he's certified, his office is certified. Planning is not something you can do just out of the blue. There is a process, and I think it's gonna really help us a lot with the process. There's so many people coming in, and they don't know where to start, so I'm glad you had a chance to talk to him about that.
Yes, he's didn't hesitate one bit.
Good, and he knows our town.
Oh, he knows all the laws, he's been doing it, he comes to every planning board meeting, so.
So, I don't wanna belabor the vote, I just wanted to make those comments.
Okay, is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
I'll-
Councilman Foldy?
Yes.
Councilman Jackaruso?
Yes.
Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Councilwoman Moore?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes, resolution passes. Project manager. This is the lady that works with Doug in his office, and she is actually went to school for planning, so she's gonna work with him if she's needed. Be it resolved that Megan Donnelly of Prime AE be appointed to provide project planning services to the town of Princetown under the supervision of Douglas P. Cole at a base rate of $39 per hour, billed monthly for a fee not to exceed $15,000 in a calendar year without prior approval, with a term to expire 12/31/23. Discussion on it? Is there a motion?
I'll make it.
Is there a second? I'll second it.
Okay, Councilman Foldy?
Yes.
Councilman Jackaruso?
Yes.
Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Councilwoman Moore?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes, resolution passes. I forgot, now, there is an opening on the planning board. Do you know who's in line? Jennifer, who's,
Probably me.
it's you?
Out of the two alternatives, I've been on there the longest now.
Can we make it?
We'd have to have a motion, right?
Well, we gotta have it written out. I just thought about that
She's
today.
already been appointed alternate member, does she need to be,
Pardon?
she's already been appointed an alternate member, does she need to be,
Yes,
Changed to-
would she have to be
I
appointed?
think so.
So do we need
Yes.
to find another alternate then to replace her?
Yes, but, you know, according to state law, you only need 5 on the planning board but you can have up to 7, so we've always had 7. So, there's no need to change it,
Okay.
but, the alternate's not that as important as, I suppose, as appointing the, one full-time to it. Do we want to write up a resolution on that to, do it, get it done tonight? Can you do that, Crystal?
yeah?
Is she allowed? Yeah, I was gonna
I
ask.
see.
Well,
You want
are you
to,
interested in it?
That's fine with me.
Okay, good.
Well, you come to all of them anyway.
There
It's
you
no
go.
different to me.
Nothing like putting you on the spot.
There you go.
Don't remember though, I think it's a 5-year term or a 7-year term?
I think it's
They're
7.
long.
I think
Yeah.
it's 7.
Yes, but,
Let's maybe just do through the end of the year and then.
Wouldn't it just be
But
through?
you
I
have
would
to
think
fill
it's
out
only
some
through the
just
time
term.
frame that Anthony is chair, though.
Anthony Torres, right, or would it be
No, it's
Carol's?
Carol's.
It'd be,
Well,
you have to-
so, I think what you're saying is if Anthony says, no, I don't wanna be chairperson anymore, he goes back to his regular seat, right?
I would assume so.
She
Yeah.
replaces Carol. The chair
But you
is
still
changed
need
every
7,
year.
there's still
Yeah.
7, so we would have to move somebody into
Now
it.
somebody else would have to be.
But should we just appoint her till the end of the year?
Well, it would be to.
Right, until we see what Anthony's
And we'll
gonna
take
do?
care of it at the organizational
Yeah, I think
meeting.
you're using it right in
She's the
January.
chair, you just appoint her to
I
the
know.
board, she's gotta fill Carol's term.
Yeah, she's gotta fill
Whoever
Carol's term.
term is,
Oh.
that's what she.
Carol's
So we
term
can't
is
do it
for
till
a
the end
year.
of the year
No, you can do
Yes.
it now, and she would
Carol's term.
continue until the end of Carol's term.
Doesn't that ultimately block it, though, if Anthony doesn't continue as chair, that you'd have no spot for a new chair if nobody else wants
You
it?
just appoint a new chair. The chair is one of the 7 people. That can change any time. If he resigns as chair, they can appoint anybody else on the board as chair.
What if nobody else on the board wants to be chair and they need to bring something new?
That's what I'm talking about. Because if he goes back down to his original, that's 7 of us with no chair.
I don't know if the other 6 want to be chair, I have no idea.
No, everybody in the room was looking at everybody else the last week.
Yeah, what would we do in such a case?
I mean, it's unusual to have 7 planning board members, nobody wants to be a chair, but I guess it could happen.
Yeah, sure, it could happen.
But that could happen anytime. It could happen right now, or last month.
Well, you can't appoint an 8th person on there because the state law says you can only have minimum of 5 and a maximum of 7.
But you're
And
not
you
always
want an
gonna
odd
keep 6
number,
people on the potential that nobody wants to be chair. That's always a risk you're gonna run there. For some reason, no one wants to be the chair. There's nothing you can do about that.
But that's, I guess that's my my point, is if she was appointed this year as an alternate, doesn't that cover this scenario, that she can through this year fill in as an alternate, and then at the organizational meeting, we decide who you appoint into the full term?
Well, every year we appoint the chair.
Right, but I have no idea where Carol's at in her planning board member term, which is 7 years.
Yeah.
So maybe we should just table this then until we
Yeah,
know.
maybe we should, you'll just have to fill in as the,
Fine,
on
I'll be
board
there
until-
anyway.
until we, see what Anthony's gonna do, and, if that's you don't mind being on a,
Oh, that's fine.
okay, then we'll table it until,
Yeah,
she'll just be filling in, we're not gonna fill another seat on there,
because
so.
you don't know what Carol's term is.
Right,
either.
yeah.
We don't need the alternates, so. Okay. Moving right along then. General funds claim. It's hereby resolved, the town board approves claim number 77 through 100 in the amount of $18,981.57. Discussion?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Crystal?
Councilman Foley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mora?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes.
Councilman Jack Russo?
Yes.
Councilman Gray?
Yes, resolution passes. Water funds claim. It is hereby resolved, the town board approves claim number 46 through 57 in the amount of $5,259.41. Discussion?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Councilman Foley?
Yes.
Councilman Jack Russo?
Yes.
Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mora?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes, resolution passes. Trust and agency fund claim. It's hereby resolved, the town board approves claim number 3 in the amount of $500. Discussion? Is there a motion? Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second? Second. Crystal?
Councilman Foley?
Yes.
Councilman Jack Russo?
Yes.
Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mora?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes, resolution passes. Council members, comments or discussion? Don, you got anything?
There was that resident that called everybody about the high-speed internet. Assuming she called you as well, right?
Yes.
I meant to call her back today, but I forgot. So I don't think the town has any jurisdiction over where internet goes. Yeah, so New York State, a long time ago, if she happens to listen to this, passed a pretty big grant to get high-speed internet in the rural areas. But it's up to Verizon or Spectrum to put in those lines. And I think she was wondering if we have some sway over that, but I don't think so.
I know they're putting in on, Normansville?
Mm-hmm.
Normansville, they're putting it in right now.
Yeah, she's on, you said Maven Road?
And, neighbors, I know they're starting to put it in over here, I was in Files, I think it is, they're putting it in right now.
Yeah, we got it up on Easter Road a couple of years ago, but we didn't for a long time. We had a Spectrum. So,
You've got Files up
yeah,
there?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or
Yeah,
not.
Mariahville got it before we did down here.
It has to have something to do, I think, with the New York State.
I know they're
grants.
putting it in over on Normansville,
Yeah,
so I know it's down here they're installing it. That's all.
Yeah, well, I can-
We don't have any say in Verizon,
yeah,
that's why I thought in the National Grid.
yeah. So I'll call her back and tell her, we get it, but it'll get there when it gets there.
Yeah.
There's nothing the town can really do.
Okay, anything else, then?
No, that's it.
Jim?
Just, I'd like to thank PAC for all the work you did for that day, and Doug, he was here all day in the rain with his big tractor. We couldn't have lifted any of that stuff by hand, and Doug did it for us. And Crystal, thank you for being here, and fortunately it rained all day, but it still worked out okay.
Yeah,
So that's our thanks on the PAC for us.
okay, okay.
Unfortunately, I was out of town. Didn't be here. Okay, thank you, Jim. Nicole, you got anything? Doug? Okay. We discussed Red Cross blood drive. that's
Yeah,
on the line.
yeah, we're meeting the first in June, so.
Okay, we're gonna go into executive session to discuss a legal matter that's pending. Everyone else is welcome to stay until after the meeting, if you'd like. So, is there a motion? Is hereby resolved the town board enters an executive session at, what is that, 7:37?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Crystal?
Councilman Goldie?
Yes.
Councilwoman Moore?